Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. It is December 17th at approximately 8:30 a.m. Eastern, and I want to share my feelings, my analysis, my opinion on the Bitcoin market. It's been very, very exciting over the last few days. I've been doing forecasts, since Monday. So this is new to me in terms of this activity. It's not new to me in terms of doing analysis. So I want to give you an update because there was a lot of exciting activity that has occurred since my last broadcast here, and two things. If you've missed any of my previous broadcasts, you can go to see them on my YouTube channel, which is Jay Pasanchik, just the letter J and Pasanchik. That's on YouTube. So you could take a look at my back analysis. That the first one was on Monday, and then I think I did one yesterday. Another thing, just to keep attorneys and regulators happy, I am not an investment advisor. I'm not giving investment advice. What I am sharing is my opinions on certain market conditions. If you should decide to take action on some of the things I say, you have to do your own due diligence because there is a level of risk, and you have to decide whether that risk is acceptable to you. Okay, now that that's out of the way, I can move forward. So it's been an exciting day. Last 24 hours. I'm going to be showing you a short-term chart here. So this is a 15-minute chart, and so what that means is every bar that you see on there represents 15 minutes, and this goes back until I think the 14th, which is Monday, and that was also my first broadcast. Now, one of the things that I want to point out is before this started to run up, we were in a very narrow trading range relative for Bitcoin, and volatility really narrowed, and you can tell by these bands. I use Bollinger Bands on here. A lot of people don't know how to use Bollinger Bands, but they're very good for creating relativity. So it creates the price is X. What is it relative to? So these Bollinger Bands help add that what it's relative to, and typically it points to volatility. So as you can see, that going through the 16th, December 16th, until about 4 a.m., it was in a very narrow band, and volatility kept moving in, which is the calm before the storm. So 2 nights ago, Bitcoin started to move higher, and in my forecast, I was saying that we really needed to get past the 19,400 level, and actually that's what was occurring here. Just prior to this run up, we broke above 19,400, and we're trading up to about 19,500, and just sort of oscillating back and forth in that range. Maybe a little bit above, maybe a little bit below, but basically it was still in a tight range, and volatility was fairly narrow. Then overnight, on the 16th, we wound up moving. We broke through those resistance levels. All right, we wound up moving through the resistance levels. We wound up coming up to, and I'm giving you this because this is all very important on going forward. We hit a high of 19,000, more or less 800, and then consolidated there. So it got a little bit overbought, but that overbought condition sort of worked itself out by moving sideways and consolidating. Then at that point, volatility started, and during that, volatility started to open up a little bit, as you can see by the bands. And then after that, that's when we started to do a run up, right? Okay, so on this run up, on the next leg, which was yesterday, we wound up hitting a high of 20,761. Okay, and that held in as a resistance level. Excuse me. And at that point, we did wind up with a fairly overbought situation occurring on this 15-minute chart. It went sideways. It consolidated, a very, very healthy thing. And then it came off a little bit, as you can see, and volatility started to come back in. There was the sign that something was going to happen again. So volatility came in, and then and as it was trading in a fairly narrow range, and then the next leg happened. And this was, as it went through yesterday, on the 16th. So we had this run up, and it, volatility stayed, expanded a little bit. And we wound up ultimately running up to the, what was the high there? The high was 23,237. Okay. And then we came off from there and we started to consolidate. As you can see, we came back to the center line of the Bollinger Bands. And during that time, the overbought condition kind of resolved itself. It stopped being overbought, which is a very healthy range, activity. And then it's starting to move a little bit higher now, and it's wanting to test these highs from yesterday that happened at actually today at 4 a.m. Eastern time. So we're now, right now, as we speak, testing those highs. Okay, and we're not in an overbought condition yet. So what do we expect to happen? Well, we're sort of at a critical path here, a critical point here on right now as we speak, because if we break through this the high that I mentioned, 23,000 odd, 23,200 in round numbers. If we break that, then we're definitely going to be moving higher. Now, here's the thing: bull markets kind of they don't just like explode and they're done. And this is a 15-minute chart, so everything I'm talking about is extremely short term. Like, things are going to unfold over the next day or two. So what we have here is we have a very tight and narrow volatility formation. Okay, then we have a very good movement to the upside. I'm going to call that leg one. We consolidate, and then we start to move higher again, and I'm going to call that leg two. Now, typically, bull runs have more than two legs. Your typical bull run is three legs. So I'm fully expecting that if that 23,000 odd doesn't hold, and that's 23,200 more or less. If it doesn't hold and we go higher, then we should have another leg to this bull run, and that's as a short term, as indicated in the short term. So now what I want to do is I would like to show a slightly longer term chart here. So just give me a minute to set this up. So I'm going to be pulling out, is going to be showing 7 days here, and this is an hourly chart. So what that means is every bar is an hour. The high, low, and close is an hour. Now, this looks a little different, but the same. So you see here, we had that consolidation, that very narrowing of price action above the 19,400. So basically oscillating around either side of 19,500. Volatility got very narrow, and then we started to move upwards. Okay, and during this move upwards, we did become very overbought, but that evidently didn't matter, because typically, if a market is really going to run, if it becomes overbought, it just stays overbought until supply starts to come in. So this kind of confirms the 15-minute chart that we had a really good run up. We did a short consolidation here, which actually eased up some of the overbought condition, and then we started to move forward with very small consolidations as we were going along. So now we kind of ran up to the next level beyond this consolidation here. And so what we're seeing here is just a validation of what I said, and we will probably be doing some level of consolidation at this level, which is the 23,200, before we move higher. My opinion is that I do expect that we're going to be moving higher, and then there's also the 1 month. It shows 1 month worth of data, high, low, and close, and that's a 5-hour chart. So what that means is each bar is 5 hours. Now this is showing just a straight run, each bar being 5 hours, and at the end of that 5 hours, we were closing at the very, very top of that trading range for that day, the price range for that, or for that unit. It is showing that there is a very, very overbought condition, probably historically high, on the 5-hour chart. So what does that mean? Well, it just means that and things, the reason why I'm showing you like a 15-minute chart, hour chart, and then a 5-hour chart is things start at like right now, bids and offers, people trading bids and offers, which is immediate. And so things start to unfold on short-term charts, which give indicators to what's going to be going on as you go out the timeline. So the short-term charts show that it wants to do some level of consolidation at these upper levels, which will help this chart out. And again, just because it's historically overbought doesn't mean that it's going to crash and burn at this point. Okay, so let me get back to the 15-minute chart again, and then I'm going to wrap this up. So 15-minute chart, we're still in that level where we're testing. We're still at that level where we're testing, the high over here, and we did come off on during this consolidation to sort of take off pressure from being overbought. Okay, well, that's so. Okay, so what do you do with this? What do you do with this? Well, if you are a player of Bitcoin, this may be an opportunity to just expand on your position on Bitcoin. I might be wrong, but we're at a point where when bull runs like this happen, once you break that supply level or resistance level, it's usually a pretty immediate move up, and if you're not sitting there watching it, you miss it. So I will tell you that when we were in that consolidation early on, where volatility narrowed in, I was a buyer of Bitcoin. I actually went out and purchased. So I'm a happy camper right now. Not that I want to talk my book, but I am putting my money where my mouth is, and I'm very happy with, you know, what has happened. So if you want to learn more about Bitcoin, you know, feel free to just drop me a line. Also, if you missed any of my previous you know, analysis, you know, from this week, and even going forward, I post these on YouTube for you to be able to take a look at, you know, historically. So that's it for today, December 17th at now about 8:45 in the morning Eastern. So comment below. I'd love your opinions. If you're with me, you know, at this point, you definitely like it. Like this if you think this has added value to you. Also, I appreciate any comments with your opinions and you know, etc. This just helps, you know, get my message out across, you know, going forward. Alrighty. Oh, and also when you go to YouTube, you know, feel free to like the video and feel free to subscribe to my channel because I will be posting these every day there. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Have a wonderful Thursday and God bless.